Welcome to Midweek Point and Click, your place where we go through adventure games of all shapes and sizes. Steve, are you there? Come through, speak again. It's okay. I'll just adjust a few things. Try again. Oh, Steve, we've already got a, yeah, you're on that? Nice, cool. Alright, let me just adjust a few things here and we'll be back to you. Should be able to be heard now. Cool. Well, Tangle Tower. It is a game that I know nothing about. It was gifted to me by one Savvy Bears. As far as I know, it's a murder mystery style adventure game. Pretty excited for it. It's got a unique art style. You'll see that there is one of the characters that Steve's avatar is kind of weird looking, but pretty good. It's cartoonish. Have you ever heard of it?
No, and you should go into these ones without looking anything up. From the music, it almost sounds like a African jungle theme.
In jungle. Okay.
It's got like little is it a type of monkey or a bird? The little sound in the background sometimes. I could do it. That was nowhere close to it.
Do it again, Steve. I want to hear it for a second time.
No, it came out like I could hear that it's more like a dog when I did it, but it's it's like the bird sound, jungle birds.
Which is weird because, like in all the old movies, there'd always be like a cocky screeching or a kookaburra in the jungle scenes.
Yeah. Is it a cocky in Citizen Kane?
I've never seen Citizen Kane. I've heard it's pretty good. Maybe one of the best movies.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I was late today. It was like literally a date got me to watch it, and I was begrudged because the way people talk about it makes it sound like it's the most pretentious, horrible film, and then you watch it, it's like that's all right actually. But the one thing is I don't remember it, but I've heard since that some of the scenes there's like a cocky just screeches, and it's just like in between scenes. Just cuts to, or the cocky is overlaid on a face, just the face of the cocky is overlaid on the thing, and it just squawks really loudly. And the studios put that in the film because they worried that people were going to fall asleep, so as to wake up the audience between scenes.
I heard that recently, yeah. I remember that actually. I think there's this YouTuber that Lisa can't stand, but I kind of like their YouTube videos because it's all movie facts, but it's got this guy going, did you know, blah, 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 blah. Did you know, blah, 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 blah. So there'd be like this YouTube short that goes for about a minute and a half and it'd give you about 15 facts or anything. That was one of them. Cool.
I saw it on a YouTube thing as well, but they didn't use a cocky, but they did that just as this off-putting thing during the video, like this was a video about something else.
Right.
Hey, Tree, how's it going?
Yo, Mr. Michael, how you doing? Good things as well? You hate that guy too? Yeah, Lisa hates him, but I just love movie facts. I'm an absolute sucker for, like, as soon as I watch any movie, I'm straight on IMDb going through all the facts and trivia and all that. I don't know, I've always been that way. I like sort of just general knowledge shit. You died there for a while, you've been resuscitated and ready and rip-roaring to go. Cool. So, let's see. Well, I'm pretty quiet, and/or the game is pretty loud. Steve is great. Thank you so much. We can adjust this. This is kind of like the first time I've booted this game, so I haven't adjusted anything. So, there we go. That should be much better. I'll put the microphone in. Thank you for that. Shall we get cracking? Like I said, we don't know anything about it. We think it's a murder mystery thing, maybe. There's I guess the icon is a lady with a knife that's sort of bleeding orbs.
I guess from the title, I'm almost, maybe it's because the symbols in the background, I almost started to think it was like just a puzzle game. Like just instead of standard adventure, it might be just puzzle after puzzle going up a tower.
Right. Well, if
Probably
that's the
not, but
case,
yeah, that's.
I've got my notepad, I've got my pen pad,
Yeah.
and I've got my Steve pad over there. Yeah, let's get cracking. We'll see what's going on. Cool. Right. One thing that Savvy said about this game is I should be clicking on everything because the descriptions are really good.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Lake of Sherbert.
Hey, Tangle.
Tongs! How you doing, sir? Okay, we're already into it. No intro, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay.
It's the little boat we used to cross the lake. It's the only way on or off the island.
What a comforting thought.
Is there
Is the other person in her head?
What's that?
Is the other person in her head?
Maybe we're that person? I'm not too sure. Let me
No,
quickly
so
just...
two people in the dialogue. The first person we can't see now, and then she answered.
Yeah. Also, there's a weird... When I hit escape, rather than going to any sort of menu, it sort of shifts the game into windowed mode and whatnot. I wonder if there's a... Probably should have checked key bindings and so forth.
It's a bird bath.
Yeah, it's that guy we can't see.
It's a little weird.
The birds seem to like it.
And then the character we can see then answers.
They're even singing a little tune.
How's the volume now as well? Now that I've adjusted things. Hopefully it's all good. What's that weird white behind me? This isn't in the game.
Toot, 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 toot.
Please don't do that.
So,
Still a touch a bit low. Okay, I'll crank me. And me. There we go. I'm cranked. I can also adjust my gain. There we go. Increase that a little bit.
and just handing it off. Any sound puzzles is your domain, by the way.
Anything math is you.
You mentioned the some birds singing a specific tune. It's like, oh shit.
Okay.
What are they?
And then I saw those chimes.
Silent wooden wind chimes.
The ground's moist, but it's not muddy. Wonder how often it rains.
Yeah,
here.
it went straight into it. We haven't done a puzzle or anything yet, though. It's just start off here, and we've just got a bit of flavor text.
Literally, the only thing that happened is we were on a little boat and we sailed to like an island, and then she's just standing here.
But it came into them just arriving at the island.
I cannot believe how exciting this murder investigation is already.
There we go. Murder investigation. I want to know what that white thing is. Let me move out of the way. Oh, okay. That's ramen cam. That isn't functional right now. Okay. Cool. I haven't used ramen cam yet, so it was foreign to me.
You ready, Sally?
There she is.
Grimoire, I've been standing here for 7.5
Grimoire.
minutes.
Just checking.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, but it's basically blank.
Oh, okay. So now it's giving us the UI. That's cool. I like the way that's...
Did you read the case file? What do you think?
I'm not sure yet. It's really not a lot to go on. Did you read it?
Yeah, I'll read it on the way to the crime scene.
Okay, so that's the notes.
Hey. Case file. Murder victim, Freya Fellow, age 19. Died whilst painting a portrait of Flora Fellow, 58. Location, Flora's Tower. Flora was present as she was posing for a portrait. Freya Fellow was found lying on her back with a single stab wound on her chest. In her chest or on her chest? What would you say, Steve?
I guess either way, because hang on.
Little ramen
Yeah,
chew.
honors, I guess. I think it's either way, but honors. Yeah, it seems weird when I read it now, but I guess it would be on.
No weapon was found at the scene, but the subject of Freya's unfinished painting was holding a knife. The red colour on the tip of the knife is not paint. It was discovered to be blood. Ooh, maybe the painting came alive. Tangle Tower. A small painting on a scrap of paper. A few notes have been written on the back. Nowadays it goes by Tangle Tower, but actually a pair of towers connected by a mansion at the base. It is surrounded by a circular lake. The water is an unusual mix of colours. The lake is enclosed by sheer pale cliffs. They're too steep and smooth to climb. Tangle Tower is currently home to both the Fellow family and the Pointer family. Okay, that's it. Let's go to the settings for a second. Oh, there's no... Okay, there's no controls. That's okay. I was wondering if there was, you know, those highlight objects button? We're just going to have to raw dog it.
Or they'll mention it a bit, I guess. I guess they put in the UI. They might mention how to do it.
Ground's moist. I wonder how often it rains here.
I cannot believe how exciting this murder investigation is already.
Yeah, we've already done that.
It's a garden, I think. It's currently far away.
We could walk closer to it.
Oh, it's
Ready
your...
when you are.
Does that mean it's your fashion text adventure controls for movement?
I hope not. As in, like, typing it in? Or do you mean just moving screen by screen with
Well, I'm
this
guessing
down?
text because you would type it in, but I mean just like going forwards, left, right, back, and that's your movement.
I don't know. Oh, okay. This is cool. So it's screen by screen this way. Almost like a Metroidvania. We'll go...
Yeah.
Looks like there's a hint thing up there in case we get super stuck. Yeah, I tried holding tab. Nothing. Tab's the usual. Let me do it again. Oh. Alright.
It's a statue of some hideous, scaly, bipedal fish monster
Playing a harp.
playing a harp. Hang on a second.
Oh, okay.
This isn't just a regular statue.
First puzz.
Something tells me we're not going to solve this just yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. They tell you when you don't have enough info.
Sweet.
Let's come back later.
Could brute force it is the other
Must
option.
do something.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Harp statue. Gardens. An old weathered statue of amphibious creature holding a large harp. Symbols are engraved on each of the harp's 4 column segments. Cool. Ooh, is this like, you know, Leighton, where there's like little coin spots?
And it's full of the
Oh, the
same
dude
weird
is
water that
maybe
was in the
us?
lake.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, okay.
Any fish in there?
Not a single one.
Because it looked like a
Oh,
third-person
is
perspective at the
something
other,
there.
but yeah, it must be his first-person view.
Mm.
It's a cassette tape.
Ooh.
Or it used to be.
Ew. The cassette tape has been damaged by water. The ink on the label is blurred and illegible. Illegible. Gosh, it's a long day. Okay.
Spooky. What do you think it's for?
I think it's to scare away detectives.
New Leighton announcement. I didn't hear of that. I know Lisa's been playing one of the Leighton games on Switch, which is pretty cool.
I should maybe play one of those again. I've only played the first one on DS.
You know, there's always going to be a matchstick puzzle in a Leighton game, and
That's what I was
Mhm.
thinking, like, if there's several versions, then they must have gotten away from that. Because
Oh no.
what I remember about the first one is that it's like, okay, neat little matchstick puzzles, and then when every second, at one stage I think it's front loaded, because at one stage every second puzzle is a matchstick puzzle.
There's that, and there's also the you've basically got 3 spindles with donuts that you need to move across to each different one to move them from one place to another. Or there's a rabbit on one side of the river with a wolf, and you have to move them across and make sure the rabbit doesn't get eaten. That sort of puzzle.
Yeah.
Is it working?
No.
Okay.
It's a stone carving. Wonder how it got cracked.
I think it's supposed to look like that. It's an egg.
You guys might know. Does this lady look a bit like that Katamari character? I don't know Katamari well enough, but that's just sort of my vague memory.
So hairstyle reminds me of something like this, something where someone's wearing a helmet like that.
Mm-hmm.
Could be Katamari because I've never played it, but that could just be my memories of seeing
What animal is
bits of
that?
it.
Hawk, bear, lizard.
Looks like matcha ice cream. Yeah,
Right, of course.
love matcha ice cream.
A hawk bear lizard.
It's a bandstand.
Bit small for a bandstand.
It's a one-man bandstand.
It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to say, too quiet?
It's not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet.
Is there anything else we've missed? Maybe the mushrooms?
This is some garden.
Do the plants all look a little strange to you?
I think that's it. Let's try this rock.
It's full of the same weird water that was in the lake.
Any fish in there?
Not a single one.
Okay.
Although there is something in there.
It's
No.
a cassette tape. Or it used to be.
Okay. I thought we collected it already.
Yeah, does it fire over and over maybe?
Off we go. Main entrance.
Oh.
What?
Oh, there's an O on the floor.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see the O.
Oh yeah. Tangle tour.
Twir.
Okay, let's pick up the O.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Tangle.
Twir.
that's the same.
Oh.
Yep. Okay.
Oh yeah. Tangle.
Twir.
So I guess you can't
Little
manipulate
bird
anything
feeders.
yet?
Not yet.
How do you know they're for birds?
Ooh.
Ah, there's a heart engraved in the tree.
No one wants the wet tape, just like the soggy tissue.
I didn't know people actually did that.
PPFF.
Okay, let's be real. Have you
Oh,
guys
so
ever
it's-
carved your initials into a tree before?
No.
Neither have I.
So
I
it's
reckon
one of the
Tom
pointers
says.
in one of the fields is no. No. Whatever F family is.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the families already. Fields was one, I'm pretty sure.
Pointer was one. No, I got it wrong.
Hang on.
Okay, so it's not fields because the
One way to
I
find
got something
out.
mixed up. I got a dirtbag thing mixed up in my.
A dirtbag thing. Jeez, it wouldn't be like you, Steve, to get a dirtbag thing.
Her name is very similar to an Australian porn actress. So
Wouldn't
that's
know.
why the extra word got mixed up in my head.
Freya Fellow and I thought there were two families. There may be just. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Yes, Pointer and Fellow. That's the one. Bag Steve emotes. Love it.
Do you think he'll start to move if we try to go inside?
No, I think he'll just silently judge us.
Do you remember the Sinbad movie, Steve? I think Gran had it on tape, and it had like the statues coming alive. It's fucking scary as.
The live action one.
Yeah, it was like I guess maybe a 60s movie. And
yeah, like stop motion. Like it was like a Clash of the Titans knockoff. That one.
yeah, exactly. And there was one scene where they were on the ship, for instance, and the figurehead came alive and attacked them.
Vaguely remember.
Is that an envelope?
It's been opened. But the letter's still in there. Let's read it.
Isn't that an invasion of someone's privacy?
No, definitely.
Aren't they
Alright.
detectives?
Exactly. It's like we were grave robbers last week, and now we're detectives now that will just go into anyone's business.
Yeah.
Opened letter. The envelope has been ripped open. There is a single piece of paper inside. Do you say envelope or envelope, Steve?
Envelope, I think.
Yeah, me too. The combination is drawn on the other sheet. Once you have it memorized, destroy it. I do not agree with your reasons. You will not find down there.
The other
Terrible.
sheet, would that be the heart puzzle?
Combination is drawn on the other sheet, though.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's ring the bell.
Should we ring the doorbell?
Why would we not?
Tongues.
It's a little melody.
Oh, it's going to be a music one. I better listen to it again.
Should we ring?
Why would we not?
Oh, I'm not going to be able to memorize that. There's like 8 notes in
It's a
there.
little melody. Don't think it's locked.
Oh, that means we can just walk straight in, right?
I'm pretty sure that's the rule, yeah.
All right. Is there anything we can click on before we do? Maybe that's just the house.
It's red, but I don't think it's painted.
Oh, it's blood.
It's just red.
Oh.
That leads back to the gardens.
Draw a little wave. Oh, maybe. I'll know where it is if I need to do that. How do you reckon you'd go with that, Steve? Drawing a little wave sign of the notes and where they sit in pitch.
I guess so, because I could hear, like, I can hear differences when it goes from one note to the other. It's just, I struggle with, like, knowing something's like a D or a C kind of thing.
I'm just going to move the chat up so it goes over us rather than under us. That makes sense. There we go. Cool. All right. Chat likes being on top. I know. Can we move further? We can. We can move up or sideways. Let's go sideways
Let's head
first.
to the crime scene first.
Okay.
It's at the top of the west tower, I think.
Grand Hall.
The fellow side, no. The F side and the pointer side.
Pointer
Together.
and fellow, right?
Fellow.
I think so.
Sally, check those plants for clues.
Is soil a clue?
Sally, check those plants for
Okay.
clues.
Is soil a clue?
It's like the Harry Potter drapes.
Yeah.
Finally, we get to investigate a murder in a spooky mansion.
It's sort of like Tongs if Robot Spacer was actually like he wouldn't need to draw the maps because it's already sort of drawn for you. I don't mind it. At least you know sort of like you're contained to one scene without moving out by accident.
It's
We'll
not
call it a
that
spooky
really.
mansion, though. Because
There you go.
Doing this.
yeah.
You've ruined it for us, Steve.
I don't know.
Sally, check those plants.
Is soil a clue?
Complete
Okay.
spoil sport.
Finally, we
Okay,
get to
same
investigate
thing.
this. This one has a big P.
Big P.
That's P.
Shame one of the surnames didn't start with T.
How very P-ceptive of you.
He's nuts.
A big letter F.
Of course. Who doesn't hang a giant banner of their initial in the lobby of their mansion?
Okay.
What is
The
that?
family tree.
I think it's a
This
family
P
tree.
technically works, it's just no one else uses that.
Ooh, okay. What a weird font. Lord Fellow, Lady Fellow, Lord Remington, Lady Remington, Lord Pointer, Lady Pointer,
Where
Selena.
the Remingtons live? Are they like in the basement? They're like the service class, maybe.
Lord Fellow.
Oh wow.
Looks like he was married twice.
Scandal.
Hang on. So he was.
Yeah, 'cause it looks like a child, but that's another wife below him.
It does look like a child. You're right. Because there's
It's
no.
like below. It's no room, I guess, but it's weird that it looks below him when it made.
This is the second game where we've had a family tree as well. If you remember, later Alligator had a very similar thing.
Yeah.
Lady Fellow.
Do these people not have first names? Lord Remington.
He sounds important. Lady Remington.
I think I have one of those in my bathroom.
Oh, is that like a razor joke? I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Which is
Lord
good because,
Pointer.
not necessarily good, but I would assume something dirtier if it wasn't.
There
if
it is.
wasn't a electric razor called Remington.
Steve once again lives up to his name as the filth-bag pirate.
You did it at the same time, Tongs. I came through twice because I did it too.
This goes back a couple of generations.
Great minds, great minds.
Lord Pointer.
This goes back a couple of generations.
It's cool that it's got the mixture
Lady
of.
Pointer.
It's like the feudal, like coats of arms where they're combinations of the parents. Like Felicia Valor has the shield thing from the,
How
I guess,
did
mother.
you become a lady?
Let me have
whereas
a
the
look.
fellows, they have like the same icon.
I want to be a lady.
What do you mean? Sorry, I couldn't see because of the chat box. You mean?
That's so cute. Like some of the children are combinations of the parent. Like the shields are for the line, one of the lines below Lord Fellow, whereas the two fellows they produce, I guess because they're legitimate, they have the fellow iconography.
No bastards here. Alright, well, if it comes down to family tree puzzles and lineage, Steve, you're on it. Psycho, good morning. We haven't really done much. We've just moved a few different screens. Three or four screens. In fact, we haven't even done a puzzle yet, so you're all good.
Yes, it is just shields,
Lena
but
Stonetop.
it's not as much of mixing. But yeah, it reminds me of the feudal, when you see feudal family tree, where often the two designs of the parents form their child's new coat of arms.
No
I thought it was going to have
family line.
more like shields and colors and stuff as patterns.
Apparently, she just appeared out of nowhere.
Flint Fellow.
A purebred fellow, if there ever was one. Married a randomer, though.
Do you think he still lives here? Felix Fellow. Looks like he married his way into the Remington family.
Do you think he still lives here?
We'll just go across this way and... Oh, actually, we'll stay on the same height.
Percival Pointer. He married into the Remington family.
Do you think he still lives here?
Oh, okay. I thought I had clicked the same one twice, but I think that the do you think he still lives here is a couple of times.
Buck Brackley.
What a name.
Do you think he still lives here?
Pandora Pointer.
All this alliteration isn't happening by accident, is it?
Do you think she still lives here?
Primrose Remington.
I always liked the name Primrose.
Do you think she still lives here?
Primrose is from the Hunger Games, right? Yep.
Flora Remington.
I think she's mentioned in our
Think
case
so.
file.
She was.
Emily Everstone.
Oh.
Do you think she still lives here? Damien Dusk.
Whoa. Is it too late to change my name to Detective Dusk?
It's Freya's father. Do you think he still lives here?
Okay, interesting, because Freya is the one that is dead, I think. And
Yes, she's a shield.
and Flora
And Flint.
Remington was the one that was there as well. But I thought it made it out that they were...
Yeah, because it was definitely Flora Fellow.
Flora Fellow and that...
I'm positive because it was 2 alliterations of FF.
We'll have to see. Did we click?
Freya Fellow.
The murder victim.
Yeah.
She's barely related to the main family at all. Felicia Fellow.
Felicia Fellow.
Freya's mother.
Do you think she still lives here?
Okay.
It'd be nice thing if you made like one of these games and the dev like put in like something that seems like an intentional logic error at the start, but when the player figures it out, when they go back, you have it change the text so that it's fixed, and they're questioning their insanity.
Now I think, Steve, you're Fitzfellow.
Half fellow.
It's fellow.
half
Oh, yeah.
Everstone.
Do you think he still lives here?
Do you think I fits a fellow?
It does fit it does fit a fellow, yeah.
Richard Remington.
Oh, Dick Remington. What a
The
detective
one and
name.
only.
All right. I've got a couple more.
Penelope Pointer.
Half Pointer, half Brackley.
Do you think she still lives here? Poppy Pointer.
The old Poppy Point.
She's half Remington and half Pointer.
Do you think she still lives here?
And finally,
Fiona Fellow.
oh, you missed Piss Cat. Oh, Steve's already told us off about Piss Cat. You know if it's a nickname though. Okay.
Dead center. She must be important.
Piss Cat is that little blue cat that you see there in our last game that we played.
Yeah, these guys are really mean-spirited. This poor homeless cat with a smushed face, which it can't help, and these guys are just savage.
Meanwhile, this monster cat was found in the urinal covered in piss that basically wakes up in, like, you wake up in the middle of the night with a piss cat on you, looking at you with a scary face. And Steve's like, nah, that's lovely.
She's half fellow and half Remington.
Let's clean themselves. Would have been full. It's not like I
Do you think she
immediately
still
did
lives
it.
here?
Okay, that's all of that.
So the surname Remington reminds me of there's a game called Covert Action. It's basically done by Sid Meier, so it's pretty much similar like Pirates, except for if Pirates had a spy theme instead of Pirates, but it's the same concept of RPG, but it's little mini games to do the various things. And you can pick between 2 characters. It's Maximilian Remington or Maxine Remington. And that way you can pick the gender, but no matter what you pick,
It's always
the
Max.
text is still Max Remington, yeah. It's
Okay.
still a name. It's like very clever.
Now it's a big glass tube filled with water.
Water.
There are weeds in there. And sand.
It's an aquarium?
Could be. Except there's nothing living in it. Anymore.
Water. All right, so we've got 4 doors. So, Saku, this is what it looks like when you go to your map. We're moving around screen by screen. Let's try this door.
It's not locked. It's not locked.
Oh, okay, that's right. We don't go through doors in this game.
Stairs. A door.
Oh, what's behind it?
A room.
Stairs.
Okay, looks like we've exhausted everything here. All right, Steve, where are we going? Are we going left or are we going right?
I guess the fellows. I guess it's pointing, but The fellows is, I guess, where the initial murders happened too.
So, are we going here or here?
No, the fellows is on the left.
Was it? Okay.
Those are the pointers.
Going here, or are we going here, or are we going here?
Maybe further on, because the arrows keep going up. We can't.
Ah, there we go.
Oh,
Oh,
there. That's
we can go
pointing.
there. Sure. Ooh, okay. That's right. And this is actual blood on the end. Fabergé.
Let's take a look at that painting first.
Ah.
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Philo.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it?
Looks that way.
Painted portrait, Flora's tower. Freya was unable to finish the painting as she died sometime during the process. Flora appears to be wielding a knife. The red substance on the tip was discovered to be blood.
Yeah, it's.
I wonder
I'm
if
sort of
all of Freya's paintings are
have my
this way.
expectations tempered
Maybe
because,
it's just because
especially
she
when
was
something becomes
bullshit.
popular, you don't know how much of the
There's
dev
something wrong
team is the
with crime
same.
scene, and something really.
But I'd definitely like to
wrong.
see how it turns out.
Yeah, for sure.
It's already semi-annoying me because one of my parents and their partner has been going through all the Star Warses, and they keep telling me, see posters of a new Star Wars thing coming out. And I mentioned that it's a video game. Although it could be one of the new TV series, but yeah, I keep saying it. I said it's a video game, and then the next time I saw them, see posters of this new Star Wars thing coming out. And I've got, I told you last time it was a video game.
Something really weird about the murder weapon.
We didn't find a murder weapon.
Ooh, what's this? Is this our first puzz? Okay. What if the paintbrush is actually...
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
I guess it's Flora's portrait. No, I can't.
This is kind of cool.
It's weird because to me the main thing is the fact that Flora's portrait is of her wielding a bloody knife.
It wasn't
But I
completely
don't know how
covered
you
out.
construct that. Yeah, it's knife tipped with blood.
Because it stabbed Freya.
Yeah,
Well, how can a painting stab... Hang on, let's see.
that's what's weird. I know.
But it was removed from the scene.
No, it's the fact that it's drawn. Like, how does someone draw? Because if it's a bloody knife, it's if it was like a photograph, it'd be after she was stabbed, and she somehow painted that.
Should we try it?
Either that or it's a premonition. Yeah.
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya.
What?
Weird, huh?
You think Freya was stabbed by a painting? Not by the woman from the painting, but by the painting itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Freya was standing right up by the canvas when she was killed. There's
That's not what
blood on
I-
the knife. It's the murder weapon.
Right, but it's not actually a knife. It can't stab.
See any other knives around here?
Yeah, it is.
Case closed.
The case is not closed. And even if you were right, where does that leave us? A painting can't be a murder suspect.
It's weird because it sort of put us in a situation where we had to try and solve a puzzle before we could look at the
Yeah.
clues.
But also, I thought it was what's weird, not what we think happened.
Credits. We solved it. You know what it's like? Do you guys remember the cartoon, was it Professor Katz? Dr. Katz?
Roughly, yeah.
It was like in the 90s.
Yeah, like I remember because that guy was a guest on Gilbert Gottfried, and the person is the cartoon. Like his sense of humor is just dry as a bone, and the same kind of weird, not really executing jokes, but just generally weird.
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
The palette has a variety of paints loaded onto it. The largest is a blob of black in the middle. The paintbrush is still covered with dried red paint. Is it really red paint though? I thought that maybe this would be like solid rather than a real paintbrush.
Yeah. Yeah, like a wooden knife
Shiva
or
or
wooden
something.
dagger made up to look like a paintbrush.
Yeah. Was Dr. Katz a podiatrist, was he? I thought he was a psychologist.
I thought he was a psychiatrist.
Is that an egg? An egg with bird feet.
Came around the same time as Duckman as well.
It's also covered in gemstones. What a completely ordinary object.
Ooh. Oh, we do have a puzz. Here's our
It's
first
a
puzz.
container for something.
Those
And
gems
it was-
look like they come off.
Okay, so is this
No,
just the
I don't-
simple line puzzle?
Yeah, I reckon we just got to link colors to colors.
Like this? Yep. Yep. Hey, I like these kind of puzzles. If this is all that's
Yeah,
it.
easy. Yeah.
Oh, okay, there's more.
It's some kind of clue about where to put the gemstones.
Oh, okay. So you're not matching them up. You have to actually make it look like this. Oh. What?
That's not the same. Oh, no, it's rotated,
backwards.
is it?
Well,
No,
let's try
rotated.
this.
It's rotated anti-clockwise 90 degrees. You can see that thing see on the left, or spin it.
Yep.
See on the left, you've got the thick line and it's got that little protrusion. And when you flip it,
This
the
thick line?
protrusion, that thick line to the left, connecting
Green.
the green gemstones.
Yep.
So remember its shape, and then you see it at the bottom there.
Oh, right. Okay. Jeez.
So it's rotated, it's not flipped.
Let's see. So the top of the... We'll start off with the green
Flip it
thing.
back, so there should be the thing going down. I just want to make sure.
So, if I remember correctly.
No. Okay, so yeah, it's not exact. You've just got to check the shapes match. The whole thing's not the same.
Oh, if it's upside... Hang on
Yeah.
1 second. No, that's right. Then we'll do... Oh, no. It's not exact.
Yeah, they're not. The whole thing isn't, but you've got to look at the individual lines and see where they are on the opposite side. So the next thick ones is the ones that turn around. So if you flip it,
These ones? Oh, hang on.
yeah, so you like the yellow ones. So that's the yellow one is blue and purple.
Hang on. The yellow one in the other side or this side?
The side we move stuff
Like
on.
this
so
one?
you see those, yeah. So see those. That line
Oh.
doesn't necessarily line with each other. You've just got to find it.
Gotcha. Okay, so the
So that one's
longest
blue and
part
purple.
is blue.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
And
Except
the
that's
other...
the one we go back because that's one's already set. You've got to use the other blue one. So flip that back to the yellow. 'Cause that's
Oh,
where
right,
it should
yeah.
be.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And what was the other color? It was triangle. Okay. Let's do the next third line, which is just this easy... Okay,
Yeah, so
green and
red and green.
red, with the longest being green.
Yep.
Like that. Yep. Okay, now we're going to go the littlest thin one. The zigzag thin, which I guess is this one. The long
Oh,
bit
purple?
is this. And
purple.
triangle is... Okay. Then we'll go for the almost square one. So the shortest is the green diamond. Oh, that's already set. That is the shortest, so it must
That
be the
was
other one.
Yellow. Yeah,
Uh,
yellow.
Yellow diamond. Okay, and then we're going the long boy, which is, that should be it, right?
Yeah, unless I made an error.
Swap the position of the gems, rotate the egg to see the clue on the back. Okay, let's
Flip
look
it again. Yeah, so the thing I was checking is right.
Do you want to do a screenshot, Steve, in Paint, and then we'll rotate it to compare?
Yeah, that might actually be better.
Yeah, do that. I'll have a swig. Check the chat. Click the top. Click the top right button. Oh, that's a clue though, isn't it? I think that's a clue.
Yeah.
Don't want to click that just yet.
Right, I got my screenshot.
Unless that is... Imagine if that is the button to solve it.
Oh, submit, yeah.
If it is, they should change the GUI a little bit.
Okay, so red and green is okay.
That one?
Yellow, purple is okay.
This
Blue
one?
and purple is okay.
This one?
Red and blue.
We'll click it once we confirm the placement. And then we'll know in the future.
Blue, purple. Unless I've missed any, I can't see any errors.
Alright, let's try and unlock then.
That's the one.
Okay,
Hey, not
Oh,
bad.
cool.
good to know.
That looks so much like a hint, though.
What's in there?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, I'm not leaving without a clue. An empty egg is a clue, right?
We need a keyblade and some cheap fan service.
Empty egg. Once unlocked, the egg can be opened. It's currently empty. The lining of the egg is a soft velvet-like material. The egg is supported by a stand made of brass. It rests on 3 feet with pointed claws. Okay. Maybe I need a keyblade. Oh. Hope not.
Freya's painting supplies.
Small glass pots of red, yellow, blue, black, and white paint. The glass pots are all cracked down one side.
Thank God it said they're cracked, because I was starting to worry it's going to be a colour hue puzzle. Oh, not a puzzle at all.
Why is this door kicked down?
That's the only door in and out of the room.
It's also on the floor.
Sure is. Guessing it's not supposed to be down there.
Alright, music puzzle for you, Steve.
Is that a gramophone?
I think so. Except it's got a tape deck instead of a turntable.
Oh, we've got a tape.
It's also got a big crack down the middle.
Everything's got cracks in this place. Gramophone. It plays cassette tapes instead of vinyl records. It's pointed towards the middle of the room. There's a noticeable crack running through it, all the way from the horn down to the tape deck. Okay.
What about the cassette tape?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure is. Pink.
The cassette tape has a crack down the middle. There is a handwritten message on the label. To Freya.
Do you think it still works?
The gramophone? Yeah, we could give it a go.
Okay. Alright, cool. We've got our swamp tape and we've got our tape. Hey, that sounds like Gymnopedie. Oh no, no longer does.
I have to replicate this whole thing somewhere.
Me too, Saku. Me too. It's one of my faves. Whenever I'd start work in a stressful job, I would always play it before I actually start. The cassette tape is correct in the middle. It's recording of piano music. It plays for a short while before stopping. Speaking of record players, I was down a YouTube rabbit hole, and I saw someone cleaning their records by they paint the top of the record with wood glue, and when it dries, then they peel it off because it's wood glue's flexible, and it pulls out all the grime and shit between the bumps.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah. So, yeah, if anyone's got some records that you need cleaning, it's the way to do it.
I was thinking at one stage it'd be I find it'd be depressing to have a record player
Why?
because all of those, like, the more you use it, the more pops they are at the start of the song where the needle went down, and that would just depress me. The fact that it wears like that.
Yeah, I guess it's use though, right? Like it's
Yeah.
it's love. It represents your love.
Yeah, also represents the progress of time and the inevitable march to
Yeah.
our doom.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Psycho, do I have a big collection? No, not as records go. No, I don't. How about you? Ooh. That last bit was a little bit.
Is that when she was murdered, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. All right, we're ready to listen to.
No, wait, she wouldn't be No, because she wasn't. That'd be when she was recording, not when she was playing it. For the sound to be on there. Yeah, that's really weird.
All right, let's try the swamp one. Less than 100. I got less than 5.
So, do you have an LP player?
Nope.
I was gonna say, because I remember you got a LP for your birthday once, and I was thinking to myself, because I usually get accused of listening to the thing.
Weird. It's someone humming a tune.
It's creepy. It's a recording of someone walking outdoors. A distorted humming melody can be heard.
Yeah, I remember you got a record for your birthday, and I remember thinking, because I usually get accused of not being observant, and I've gone, this shows how unobservant I am. I've never seen a record player at your place.
It's
And
true.
you find out you didn't have one. It was a weird gift to give a record to someone who doesn't have a player.
Who accuses you of not being observant? You're observant enough.
No, my dad.
Oh.
I think day-to-day stuff I'm always don't have my eyes out.
I remember
Remember the childhood story of I went through the prime school at least, like teachers would read it because it was like a book, and it was this kid that his father always accused him of not being observant, and he'd get into trouble if the father, like he'd get into trouble if he went home from school, and the father would go, "What happened today?" And he'd say nothing, and he'd get in trouble for that because it means he didn't keep his eyes out for something.
Oh, right.
And so the whole book is him making up this thing of like, oh, there's a fate came through and it was fantastic, and there were dancing elephants and someone, and then I jumped, seeing an opportunity, I jumped at passing cars, everyone held me. It's this hugely fantastical story he's making up on his way home to show that he was observant, and then he gets home and doesn't have the nerve to say the story is made up. He just goes nothing again and gets in trouble. But I identified hugely with that story. My dad never got into actual trouble for not being observant. But that resonated with me as a kid because that's pretty much what it'd be like.
First character.
Flora fellow?
I think she's innocent just because it's too on the nose,
Sorry
evil.
to barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
Nothing. What do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now.
As a youth, you used to get ones because they were cheaper than CDs. You dub them to tapes, trash audio, but the music exception. You know, I used to do something very similar, not with that, but I would always record audio of TV shows and stuff. Like I'd go to The Simpsons and record cassettes of just like one-liners from Simpsons.
I used to, the 2 times I did that was recording music from Rage and Video Hits to play back on jogs and stuff.
Yep.
Or there was one time I made up a mixtape of various soundtracks from the computer. Dad figured out a way to wire. This was really early when this was actually wasn't a good interface between computers and normal things, but Dad found a way to record from the computer to the cassette. And I remember making up a cassette of soundtracks. So stuff like I started up Monkey Island and pressed record just as the intro music started.
That's right, yeah. I was making recording tapes for a soundboard that he didn't have. Yeah, that was the old school soundboard. Back in the day, way before you were born, Verdantry. Probably 1993, I would say. There'd be CDs. I had a friend that Dad had a CD-ROM, which is ridiculously expensive at that time. In fact, you had to put the CDs in a caddy and insert. It was kind of like a tape that you would insert into the CD-ROM. But there was a CD that we had that was just filled with WAV files of like Star Trek sound effects and like all sorts of stuff. Do you remember that, Steve, at Tom's place?
Yeah, I don't remember the cassette part, but I remember having tons of you having a library of sound effects.
It was so good because it was just like Foley work. It was from everything from like movie quotes and things to actual just straight out sound effects. Do you remember Verdantry? I think we watched it ages ago. It was the Australian ratings board that would have the Daffy Duck screaming, the Back to the Future 3, Dude It Up, Egg Sucking Gutter Trash, the Hasta La Vista Baby, the What Do You Think Frank in Bed with Madonna, that thing. Anyway, the Daffy Duck scream that's in that video, that sort of ratings board video. Oh, really? Really? We might have to do it.
What do you mean?
We might have to do an intermission for a second. Let me see if I could find it. It's worth it. But anyway, the Daffy Duck scream was specific to this CD-ROM as well. How am I going to play this on stream? One moment, let me find the video first. This is the one. Oh no, that's not it.
Wilhelm scream. I know like the two like main
the one from
main ones.
Dark Forces, that first person shooter. I will find it. One second. I literally watched it 2 days ago to show Lisa because I was cooking eggs and I said the Dude It Up, Egg Sucking Gutter Trash quote at her. Yep, found it. Okay. I've got to pause it before it. Okay.
That's from Hook, isn't it?
What?
The Dude It Up, Egg Sucking Gutter Trash?
Nah, Biff Tannen says it. Mad Dog Tannen says it in Back to the Future 3. Let me see. Okay. If I create a window capture, this might work. Yep, that looks about right. Hopefully you guys have sound. Let me see if it plays. Oh, well, it'll play because... Let me crank the volume. Alright, you ready? You ready? This was on every single VHS tape that you would ever hire from any movie store.
That you're listening to Truth or...
Mad dog. Especially not some duded up, egg-sucking gutter trash.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Friendly as criminal as I. What do you think, Frank?
What do you think?
Make a better choice. Ratings advice. Use it. It's on every video.
There you go. So that is what I was referring to. You don't
That
remember
was
that?
a very clever way. That was a really clever ad for describing the rating system.
Yeah. It was great. So whenever I cook eggs, I always say that eggs sucking go to trash line because you just can't when you're not cooking, you know. It's part and parcel with it.
Flora.
Oh, we've already done this one. I like that hair wave over the dialogue box.
Hey,
That's...
sorry to...
Hang on. Here we go.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us, Flora? I don't really know anything about you at all.
I think that's the way she likes it. We'll just have to ask other people about her.
Yeah, okay.
Freya was painting your portrait yesterday. Is that right?
What if they cut out her tongue? Whoever did
Was
it.
this something you had planned with her ahead of time?
Was there something special about yesterday?
Did you talk to Freya at all while she was painting you?
She's not going to answer us, is she?
Nope. But at least we can say we tried.
Okay.
Flora, you were definitely in the room at the time of the murder. Surely you must have seen something.
Surely.
Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya? She's acting pretty suspicious if you ask me.
I don't know. Maybe
Surely
she
you can't
really
be
doesn't know
serious.
anything.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
There we go.
How is that possible?
Ooh, so her personality is locked. Okay. I wonder if we can...
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it.
Looks that way.
Okay, I was thinking it would do that, put the clues together again. Okay, I think we're done with this room.
Half the room is a big open window.
I don't know if you can call it an open window. It's more like the sudden absence of wall.
The outline of Freya Fellow. There's a single patch of blood, right in the middle. No real signs of a struggle.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right up by the canvas.
Oh, yeah? Who's Sally? Is Sally the lady that didn't speak? Because that would be a really good gag.
So?
Yeah, she was in John Wick 2, wasn't she?
Standing really close to the canvas when she fell.
Oh, this is Sally. Okay. I would not have a clue, Birdtree. I've never played that in my life. That's a Steve game if I've ever heard one.
Let's check the case file again.
That's not my type of game. I've played it once just out of curiosity.
Okay, Freya Fellow
And
died
then
while
had the
painting.
thought of, well, this is on my Steam library for the rest of my life.
Check my Steam history. Check my Steam history and see if you see a single Honey Pop thing in there. You never will. In fact, I always hear about people that are looking at their Steam. In fact, I think Jeff Gersman posted a picture of it on Twitter today, where it's just filled with like smutty games and stuff. But I don't see that view at all. I've never seen a smutty game on Steam at all. I don't know if it's a setting you have to enable to see smut, but yeah, I'm a good boy.
And occasionally, like, I think it comes and goes. Like, I don't always see it. Sometimes there's one or two things. I remember clicking one, I think it was a tag or something, and it was innocent. Like, it wasn't like, oh, that's a filthy thing. Whatever the tag was, it is, and it's one of those things where it's innocent until you click it and you see all the results and you go, oh shit, of course. And then you sort of see the association after you do that.
Steve once again lives up to his name as the filth bag pirate.
From clicking this tag of something I might be interested in.
Jeez. Ardwood, fine. How you doing? Good to see you in here. Hopefully work is settled down a little bit.
Fuck off, Steve.
Okay. Well, I think it's time to move to a different room. What do we have? Let's just...
But generally, as I'm known as a filth bag, I don't play smutty games. So it's like, it's too weird for me.
What about when we were like, I don't know,
except
10 and 12 years old playing Samantha Fox strip poker?
I don't think we ever got that working, did we?
I think we got it working, but we just didn't know how to play poker, so it was pointless.
Yeah. I think I roughly knew, but I think it was Samantha was a little bit rough as a poker opponent. I don't know. There's one that Dad had that I found in the cupboard, and
found in the cupboard, not in the woods. That's the modern day USB sticks filled with smut.
I played it recently. Cover Girl Poker was called for the PC.
Yeah, you said moments ago, Steve. You said that you, as much as you're a filth bag, you don't.
Okay, the two exceptions was when as a kid, when it's like new. The one thing is it's that, and remember that it was for the Commodore or PC. It was like a dirty game in someone else's collection. It was like a friend of your dad's.
Don't bring me into this.
It was like just a sim game. That was the other exception of just you're young and it's like, this is funny or more funny than anything.
Yeah.
When we played it, we did something to fuck it up, or maybe I borrowed it and I was going to give it back. And then something went wrong with it. And I remember the guy literally asking us as kids, like, oh, have you seen a disc with this written on the title?
Oh, that rings a bell.
We're like, nah. And I was just trying to find it. And I don't know if he suspected that we saw it and went yank, or yeah.
That's so funny.
God damn it, Steve. That is disgusting.
I remember that same guy. I think I know who you're referring to. He loaned my dad some floppy disks of a lot of Doom WODs. For those that don't know, Doom WODs were like bonus levels. Like user-created levels for Doom, but you can play deathmatch or whatever in.
Yeah, the WOD file basically contained the whole level, all the data for one level.
And I think I may have lost that disc, and he cracked the shits at me so bad. I mean, floppies. We could have... Well, we were told strictly not to copy the floppy, right? So things get lost.
There might have been we were trying to... There might have been some sort of protection, or we might have been trying to copy.
Do you think there's a little crab living inside?
I hope so.
Puffer fish?
Yes. It's also a lamp.
It's the fugu that you ate, Steve.
It's Earth.
If Earth was made of paper and gave off a gentle pink light.
Do you think this is the combination? The symbols?
Were they astronomical? Oh, yeah, it was something like that.
It's not just like it had... Hang on, let's have a look. Where is the... Here it is. The harp. Bell, lips, piano, bird. None of those things. Yeah, it was a good guess, though.
Yeah, so like from my memory, I thought it was those.
A real treasure chest.
I have the
How do you know
one
that's
senior
treasure?
comedian who said, "Look, I wouldn't steal someone's car, but if I was at a friend's place, my friend offered to burn me a copy of his car, I'll probably accept it."
That's bang on. As if you'd say no.
Why else would it be locked? Plus, there's a treasure map hanging directly above it.
Oh, we might have another pause. We
What's
do.
the deal with that painting on the front?
Not sure. We should check that treasure map too.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay,
Oh,
so we've
no.
got to find... Hang on, isn't it just this one here? Pretty sure it is.
Well, we're at one of the...
So, I3.
Oh, okay, hang on.
Oh, in the middle is blank, so
Oh, we're on
it's
an
this
X.
one. Yeah, so it's I4.
Yeah, because it's... Yep.
That was piss easy. But what's this going to be?
Oh, facing north. So I4, and then that's correct, because we're facing north.
Did you check the treasure map for clues? And what about that painting on the chest itself?
Hang on, let's have a look.
Maybe the horse is closer? Yes, I think it's H6 facing west.
H6 facing west.
Oh no, where's the gulls?
It looks
Are
exactly
there
like
gulls
this
on the
though.
picture?
Oh, there's gulls directly above the tree.
But also the seahorses, the dragon's a little bit closer.
Okay. There's a red herring if I've ever seen one. Okay.
I sort of suspect it was wrong when north didn't have to be changed. It's like, that seems wrong.
Okay. Let's see. So X with a tree in front of it and a bird in front of it. X.
H6 west.
Alright, we'll try it. It's funny that you say H and I say H and we grew up in the same location. This?
I did it.
Whoa, Steve, bang on.
Yeah.
Carl and Era, how you doing?
How's it
Good to
going?
see you. Welcome in. If you don't know, we do adventure games on Thursday nights. What about Z versus Z? Oh, it's
Zed's
always
dead,
Z.
darling. Zed's dead.
Always Z.
Not bad.
Z sounds better too.
What was in the box?
What was in the box?
More wooden models. These are a little different to the one on the desk.
Okay. Painted models. A model resembling a child with green hair. A model resembling a woman with grey hair. A model resembling a red and white bird. A model resembling a broad-shouldered man. The wooden models have been hand-painted. The paint is not skillfully applied. A pot of red paint and brush is laying nearby. The brush has some dried red paint on it. Okay, interesting.
That's basically like my Warhammer figurines. Poorly painted, brush not properly taken care of.
Saiku, there's a really great Trevor Noah bit. As you know, Trevor Noah was born in, I think, South Africa. And he said that one of the hardest things was coming over to the US because everyone would say Z instead of Z. And he said that the arrogance doesn't stop there with you guys saying Z instead of Z, but you even renamed an animal to zebra to fit your standards. Which I thought was very good.
A little hand-painted statue.
How can you tell it's hand painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk. Also, I mean, no offense, but you can just tell.
Oh, bit of a craptacular mini painting. A wooden carving of a man holding a sword. The model has been hand painted, but the paint is not skillfully applied. Yellow, blue, black, and white paints were found nearby. Okay. Alright, let's see. What do we have? Got a horn?
It's a drinking horn.
Alright, any of you guys drank out of a drinking horn before? I definitely have. And there is a technique to it, because if you do it wrong, it just splooshes everywhere. Have you, Steve?
No, I haven't done
There's a really good restaurant called Molnir.
it. Did I? No, I'm thinking something else.
Is it full
I
of
think I've
ale?
heard of Molnir though.
Or mead?
It's
maybe?
really great. And they you can have any drink in the Horn.
Right now, it's just full of dust.
Oh.
Driving Zed van.
The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just made of wood. I think it's the actual hull of a ship.
The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just. I
same
think it's
thing.
the actual hull of a ship.
Shelf junk.
I feel like that's a thing you can do at medieval times, along with losing a USB stick of porn. That's a good Randy Pitchford reference. All right, let's talk to old mate.
Sir? Can you hear me? I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I have some questions for you.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
And, this is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow,
Oh,
we
so he's got
really
a
need to
preference.
ask you about the murder.
Well, I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know, that sort of thing.
You know what? I have actually been in the same room with Randy Pitchford. I didn't speak to him, but I was at a restaurant eating lunch, and PAX Australia was being held right near my work, and he was in there with his son. And just his gaudy t-shirt just made him stick out. It was yuck. All right, give me 1 second. I'm just going to put you guys in BRB. I just need a bio break. I'll be back in 2 shakes.
And I didn't have anything ready for chilling. I'll be playing Hitman. I'm on to Bangkok right now. And yeah, making my way through the things. Might be Paris. Because Bangkok I'm liking for its size. Like, it's the thing I've been... because I think number 2 I struggled with just starting it because of that huge Formula 1 level. And then this one also has, after Paris, Sapienza was a bit too much in one level, like in terms of 3 objectives, and then Marrakesh was kind of big, but it's much smaller. But Paris has a mixture of smaller, but also the runway thing is pretty cool. A lot of the kills are pretty cool.
No, I can!
Yeah, I think Bangkok's like just the right size, just the right fit.
I'm gonna move out of the way, just so that we can get a proper camera angle here.
It's like just this level's just big enough to feel it without being too much.
Beverage that I've got.
See your head.
Oh, it'll come. Give it a few seconds to catch up.
That is the biggest, disgusting load of crap I've ever tasted in my life.
Oh my gosh, it is.
Yeah,
it
there's
is
something wrong
nectar
with
of the
you,
gods.
I did like it, the kill with smothering someone in the cake.
Every sip. And I'm back. Speaking of Hitman, did you hear the good news, Steve? I beat Freelancer today.
Oh yeah, I think I saw the tail end of it. Or was that just post freelancer shenanigans?
I was doing some contracts because in order to unlock the blue flamingo suit, you have to do 45 featured contracts. But it got tense towards the end. I almost screwed up the entire thing. the person who I thought was the target was not the target. And so I laid out a banana peel for the assassin to slip on it so I could take his gun. But instead, one of the potential targets slipped on it, and the real target freaked out and started fleeing the scene, and so every one of the targets was like going to escape, and I just pulled out my gun and aimed at one of them and got him, and then
I shot them from the distance.
Got
I
out
sort
of
of
it.
like that when they're just about to get away and you somehow manage to cap them and get away.
Yeah, it was real good, real satisfying. I
And
see.
yeah, I did notice, because I have the reputation of being violent in that game, but you were playing pretty fast and loose for those last couple of contracts.
Yep, there's a time and a place for everything. I see a filth bag Tongs in here. What has he done?
It's the saying that I like the size of Bangkok.
Yeah, Bangkok's not a bad level.
And then I was not filthy afterwards, I swear.
All right.
So, Felix, what exactly do you do?
Is it not obvious? I'm an explorer. Explorer/treasure hunter. Yes, well, best in the world.
We're talking like curse statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that.
I love
I've
traps.
certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, when did you retire?
You listen here. I may be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long. I go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is...
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
Don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world. They are the greatest treasure of all.
Uh-huh.
Do we have... Is this the... Oh, no. I was hoping we would have a family tree that we could go to whenever we wanted.
So you have to go to that room.
Oh, shit. Talk to you again.
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow. The reason we're here.
Ah, right. Nasty business. Very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help.
Any help?
But I wish you all the best in your investigation.
Hear that, Grimoire? We're done here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I was in my room.
More than two shakes or one wipe is a sin.
Working on Flora's, working on a project.
Your room is quite close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything unusual?
What qualifies as unusual?
Murder?
What have you got?
Plays Android 18 in Dragon Ball Z Abridged. See what I did there?
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent? Perhaps. Uncertain as life itself.
Abridged version, please.
Right. Fine. I
A
heard
100% certified got him.
Just outside my room. The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz.
That's you, Steve.
I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora too, of course. Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
Including you?
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me.
Okay.
He said he couldn't help, and then he's the one that stumbled into one of the ones that stumbled into the crime scene.
Okay. I think we've... It's interesting that we find things like the wooden figures and things like we don't really have an inventory.
It's a barometer, but it's broken.
I've never seen a barometer that wasn't broken.
What is it?
Kind of a good
Isn't
point.
it?
What does he do?
Well, if you tell too many lies, he appears at the end of your bed in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Alright.
A little mirror.
Definitely cursed.
It's not cursed. Not everything is cursed.
On to the next. Let's go see Steve. Oh, it's locked.
Locked.
Freya's room. Okay. Everyone paints in this family.
Freya's bear.
Looks pretty depressed.
He's had
Well, this is the painter.
days.
This is the woman that's murdered.
Okay.
It's a fish, I think.
I think it looks more like a whale.
Fine, it's a
Yep.
whale.
She's stoned.
Who's stoned?
Doesn't look like a whale at all, does it?
I reckon it looks like a whale. Although, whales, the way you can tell whether it's a whale or a fish is by the fin, like the back fin. Fish have fins like this way, and whales have them sideways. So it does
vertical.
kind of look like it's vertical, which means it would be a fish, but then it's got a blowhole. It's a paradox.
Could also be a shark.
Oh, it could be a shark, actually. No, sharks don't have blowholes. What am I talking about? Can't be a shark.
But is that a blowhole?
It kind of looks like it. Like it's...
I think that's its eye. If you're thinking of the hole.
No, here. So... Oh, yeah, you can see my cursor. It's got...
I can't.
Oh, really? It's like in the center of it's got like a dark green splooge coming out of its back.
Oh, that's the paint dripping down from the circle she drew around it, though.
Oh, maybe it could be.
That painting is really something.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
It might be a splooge hole.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on. There's a smaller version down by the floor.
It's a photograph.
Look at this photograph. Photo of a painting. A small photograph of Freya's abstract painting. A piece of adhesive tape is stuck to it. Lines have been drawn with black ink around the edges. Okay.
So it lines up with something else to say descriptive stuff?
Yeah, possibly. I think I see a puzzle box.
It's a little wooden box for paintbrushes.
Oh no, okay, good.
To the casual observer, maybe.
Oh, it
Still
is.
could be.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like these puzzles.
Looks like they're part of some kind of lock mechanism.
Rebuilding
I don't know what type
paper.
it is.
I love it.
Oh.
I don't think
yeah.
I can rotate right. Good. Hang on, that's square though. Okay. Put this in the corner. And then... This is a little bit more... Oh, this would be the bottom corner. No.
Yeah, the two that could be top left and two that could be bottom right. I know the one on the end could be top right or bottom right.
It's kind of different colored paint as paper as well, which is weird. Could that be here?
I'm thinking maybe they don't fit. Well, I don't think they fit a square thing. I think you just group their colors together.
Well, let's see what these things do as well.
I can't see how the like cream one
Okay.
goes together.
Oh, I like the music. Oh, this goes.
Some of the different colors.
Still fits nicely.
And so that's green. So
Oh yeah, that sort of goes. This goes. No, not really. That doesn't go. Oh, this goes. And this goes here. It's good enough. Oh, wait. This could go potentially here. Oh, hang on. And this could go underneath. Yeah, I think it does.
can you raise and lower the paint
think
brushes?
You
As
can,
well as change their order?
but I think I've got it.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, that was in the right spot originally, wasn't it?
Hang on one second.
You're undoing it.
No, no,
You
let
had
me.
it perfect.
No, hang on.
I should have taken a screenshot.
All right. There. See?
Okay, yeah, that's wrong.
Okay. So
So yellow, orange goes there.
there's black, which we don't have, which is
Orange, then pink. Oh, there's the shapes as well.
oh yeah, I guess so. So
Straight pink goes 3. So the 1 and 2 goes into the 3rd spot.
what do these things do? Oh, these are the stick colors. Okay. And
Oh,
then-
black is not showing you the color, but showing you the shape.
Gotcha.
Okay, so there's a fantail.
So
It's
this
kind of
one,
cracked.
that's there. Hang on, that's green blob.
Oh, you can't change the heights, can you?
No.
Okay, so the 1 in 5 goes to the far left. So swap 1 and 5.
Like that?
No, the 1 and 5. So the 1 in 5 goes into the 1 spot.
Oh, sorry, 5. Okay, yep. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah, so that's the short one.
In green. This is
Green
second
is
line, so
fine.
that's... Oh, hang on. This should be here, though. Like, this is the 3rd line.
3rd line.
So if we're looking at these lines, there.
I mean, I think it defines in lines as the tall boy. One of the tall boys have to be on the right. 6.
Blue, green. That could be it, you know, just like
I
this.
think that's it because it fits everything.
That's done it.
Yes.
I was wondering what we're missing, but then I realized you've got to actually submit.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yes.
What was in the box?
Just a photograph.
Look at this photograph.
Well, most of a photograph.
Oh. A photograph of 2 young girls, one with red hair, the other with green hair. That's fucking teamwork! Thank you, Artie Fine. The photo has a large piece missing. It seems to be ripped off. Are the sound alerts coming through once or twice? Just so I know. Alright. It's done.
It's a little glass box.
Perfect. Thank you.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
I used to have a bunch of stick insects at my last place. Like, we had a little vivarium filled with them, and would feed them like little leaves. But then the council went and did pesticides on the trees outside, and we didn't know, and we accidentally poisoned our beautiful little stick insects.
It's Freya's bed. A little bit messy.
It's a perfectly healthy amount of messy.
A pillow with a paw print pattern.
It's a cushion.
Yeah, but that doesn't alliterate. Freya's plants. They must not need sunlight? Do you think this was always supposed to be a bedroom?
I don't know. It is kind of a weird shape.
Excuse me.
No windows either. Drawings taped up on the wall.
What's that one on the left?
Looks like two people standing together in a garden.
Excuse me. Allergic to the nighttime.
One of them's holding a red rose.
I watched a TV series on Netflix called Red Rose. Wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
A drawing of a man standing with a woman in a garden holding a red rose. A drawing of a young woman. A drawing of a person wearing a cloak. Yeah, it was kind of horror. Sort of. It was kind of like The Ring. You know, like You Will Die in 7 Days kind of thing, but it's an app on a phone. It's...
Not the kind of lamp I choose for my bedroom, but fair enough.
It's cool. Looks like old mining equipment or something.
Okay,
Do you think this was always supposed to be a bedroom?
I don't know. It is kind of a weird shape.
No windows either.
It's against the health code.
Oh, what'd you think? You were up to the last...
Don't spoil it for me.
A lot of these paintings look unfinished.
Did you have the last few episodes for a while? Or am I thinking of something else?
Good point. Do you think this was all?
I don't know.
No windows either.
I reckon that might be it for this room. Let's move on to the next. The library.
What'd you think of the twist where Cisco was the ghost all along?
A book on the floor. Fundamental entomology.
I guess somebody dropped it. It's an illustrated book about birds.
Ornithology.
It's been left open. Looks like somebody was halfway through reading it.
Or
I mean,
it was left open for us to find.
Ooh, is this the puzz?
Ever so slightly unnerving.
Bird book. The ink dip is a remarkably intelligent bird with a very long lifespan, even among avian mystids. Other birds are often aggressive towards it, and the ink dip lives most of its life alone. Oh, that's sad. It has particular feeding habits, usually only eats the seeds of the Tantum amica pictured.
Yeah, do you mean the... What's that to say without spoilers?
Well, don't say it if it's
good
got
where
spoilers.
certain thing, the main thread wraps up, or do you mean the bit where it turns Dragon Ball Z?
Is that a snow globe?
Of sorts.
Dragon Ball Z, I mean.
Ooh, we've got a little Persian palace in a snow globe that's broken in a snow globe.
Hey, look at that. It's a model of Tangle Tower. There's the lake and those weird mountains. What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing souvenir.
It's weird because It's like the mountains are there for the perspective of whoever's in the little model castle.
Hang on.
But from our view, that's like we see the facade.
I see what you mean. Yeah, because I thought it was just broken, but yeah, you're right. The mountains are... Yeah, that's kind of cool, actually. Music in this game is rad.
Books about ancient history, I think?
These books are ancient history. I think they'd crumble into dust if I tried to pick them up.
Good excuse.
Thanks.
But yeah, Voyage is pretty good. I've been listening to... There's a podcast called The Delta Flyers. That's two of the actors, the guy that plays Paris and the guy that plays Kim. Those two actors go episode by episode every week. They're currently at the last season though, but yeah, that's been pretty good.
Books about insects.
Well, theoretically. There's not a single book on that shelf.
Huh.
Books about space.
Space!
They're relatively untouched. What's in those bottles?
I'm not sure. Soil samples?
Sure. Why not build a science lab in the corner of the library?
Where's the puzz? Every room has had a puzz so far.
The search for new knowledge. The archiving of old knowledge. It's downright poetic. It's musty in here.
What exactly does that mean? What is must?
Must.
I used to get confused with must and musk, like musk sticks. Musk sticks are amazing.
I think I've realized now, whenever someone says something's musty, I always think of it as musky. I get those confused because I actually don't know. A must, I guess, is dusty.
Yeah, in every sense but musk sticks, I think of it like a gross term, like what Verdinger said then.
It's like a BO smell. Is musk.
Do you
like
Americans have musk sticks? Because they're the best.
You ask such stupid questions.
Nice.
Man, I haven't had one of them in so long. When have you last had one, Steve?
Can't tell.
Big Boss, yeah, Big Boss is a variant of the musk stick for sure.
Sure. Why not build
Research the archive is downright poetic.
There's a bird one here.
Books about birds.
The shelves are about half empty.
So the ones, if you do a Google search, Saiku, they're like pink sticks that are kind of like if an asterisk was a stick. Like looking down on, like if you bird's eye viewing on a musk stick, it'd look like an asterisk. That shape. They're really tasty.
Oh, so you're the shelves are half empty kind of person.
You knew this already.
Books about nature?
Yeah, that works too, for sure.
Yeah, like if the toothpaste opening had like a little star thing, so the paste is star shaped.
It's so funny you should say that because Robert Raleigh can't stand them. When I mentioned musk sticks, you saw on my break how he turned his nose up at the Dr. Pepper that I was drinking.
Yeah,
even more so.
Australian reaction.
Even more so for the musk stick.
Wow, that's weird because we should be used. I can't see what's controversial. Like, what would be off? Because isn't it just sugary?
Yeah, and kind of florally in a sense. Like maybe floral's the wrong word, but it's got this ness.
Yeah,
this je ne sais quoi.
I think that's correct because like that worked with me. That word floral, but I don't know. It's not like it's aniseed or something, or shitty artificial cherry flavor or anything like that that will turn you off.
Artificial cherry is not shitty in any stretch. It's kind of, I would say, vanilla floral, like that kind of flavor. The taste has been variously compared to a nice smelling shop, grandmother's makeup, and even the smell of old ladies at a bus stop. Grandmother's makeup, maybe, like smelling foundation. I could see that, sort of. But it's not gross. Like, eating foundation would be gross, for sure. But musk sticks, they're pretty good.
The smell, I could actually... I think regardless of the taste, the smell could be what puts people off.
I would say it's adjacent to rose water. It doesn't taste like rose
if you're
water.
Not used to it, I could imagine it reminding you of cosmetics or something weird like that.
Yeah. Oh man. Where is this Puz though? We'll just talk to her.
Curious. I would expect bacteria of that nature to thrive in these conditions.
Excuse me.
Taking all the environmental factors into account, there must be something I am still missing.
May I talk to you, miss?
She knows we're here. She just doesn't care.
I am a detective, and I need to talk...
Correction. You do not need to talk to me.
Oh, no? How come?
Because I am not a suspect. I am completely innocent of any and all crimes.
Thanks for letting me know.
Speaking of which, you have now been at Tangle Tower for over 23 minutes. Surely you have already reached a sturdy hypothesis.
A hypothesis? About the murder?
Yeah, come on, Grimoire, hurry up.
My apologies. Unfortunately, protocol dictates I must at least meet all the suspects. And that includes you. So, could you tell me your name?
Fifi Fellow, microbiologist,
Fifi.
inventor,
Fiona.
innovator.
– 23 minutes is technically true. We've been streaming for like an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah, when it first gave a time, I've wondered, do they keep time and do they need an audio record of every single time they have? But
It'd be pretty easy though, because you could just say 20, 30, 40, 50, and then just add another.
Yeah.
More than 23. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Speaking of candies, so next week I will be in Hawaii, so we'll resume the stream the following week. But I need you like candy ideas, like things to try, because when you go overseas, eating food is one of the best things you can do. So if you Americans have good ideas for me to try, let me know.
Hershey's Kisses.
No. Hershey's is weird.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces is shit house.
Yep.
Well, first of all, you're a fellow. So does that make you the daughter?
Those are the two I was excited for first going to America. Of like, oh, it can have these things I've heard about in TV shows. I actually really like Hershey's chocolate bars, but
you call me a sicko for liking Dr. Pepper, and you like Hershey's chocolate bar that has the same enzyme as vomit in it.
Might not be the same because they're not the same as Kisses. Because then later I saw Hershey's Kisses, and it's like, oh, the chocolate was nice, and this is what you keep hearing of, and it's like, what the fuck is this? And then Reese's Pieces the same. I guess when you don't know it's peanut butter, then that throws you, I guess. So that might have made it worse, but yeah, these two things, it's like, oh, what the hell?
You know what's gross about a Reese's Pieces or Reese's Pieces, however you want to say it, is it's like they've got a child to cook the candy bar, like to make it, and they keep adding sugar, keep adding salt to try and get the ratio right until it skyrockets to the point where it doesn't taste any good.
Yeah.
So gross. Cheez-Its? I'd give Cheez-Its a go for sure. I want to try a Tootsie Roll. I think that's what it's called. I really like Butterfingers. I think they taste delicious. What else is there?
I'd say Twinkie, but you can sort of get them here at the sugar stations.
Right, yeah. I want to try even some fast foods just because I want to have it in my knowledge. I don't really eat a lot of fast food. The only time I'll ever really eat it is when I've got a guest coming over. Like if Steve came over, we'd get pizza, but it's not like I get pizza every second day or whatever like that. So going over to America, having like I've tried Five Guys before, and I've tried Taco Bell. That's pretty much the main ones. But I wouldn't mind trying like White Castle, which I think I've heard gives you the shits, but I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing going to White Castle because they just sell like sliders, don't they?
Yeah, on
seems pretty
flavor crystals, as Dan puts it. In reality, it's just
Oh
onions.
shit, that turns me off. Because I guess I just sort of see the visual and go, oh, it's just like a little slider, but I don't know, the idea of taste crystals turns me off.
Taste crystals are onions. Dan just didn't know what an onion was.
Okay, that's better.
In-N-Out, I'd like to try. In-N-Out's not in Hawaii, though, unfortunately. White Castle is. I've definitely seen it. It's in Honolulu, so I might try that for sure.
Outback Steakhouse.
Sonic? Yeah, with the roller skates, right? Outback Steakhouse. If there is one in Hawaii, I should try it. Film it.
There actually is, and I went to it. It's probably not worth it. I went to it just because I was intrigued. So I know there is one in Waikiki.
I could be a bloomin' onion critique, even though we've never had bloomin' onions here ever. Like, it's just not a thing.
The thing I remember in the menu is there was like a special Australian desserts section.
Oh yeah.
And was tiramisu?
Love tiramisu. Tiramisu is delicious. One of the best desserts you could ever get.
But is it Australian? Is it
no.
the big...
Tiramisu is Italian for sure.
Yeah. For what I think, like looking at it, I think it's like a dessert of the day. So, but they've still got the framing around it of big Australian desserts, and then the dessert of the day was tiramisu. It's like that's not even close to Australian.
If I was to say an Australian dessert, I'd probably say, even though it's New Zealand, it's like pavlova is definitely one that you could sort of put in there, or trifle as well. They're probably the biggest ones that you'd see at every sort of Christmas party.
Yeah. Yeah, Dad got old slides because I think you shared some on Facebook. So you might have seen some of them, but yeah, you got old slides with a projector and showed them. And I just remember two of the family, so basically two of our uncles, had their like wedding photos, and in both of them a different coloured trifle on there. It was like it was one of those things where there's each of them, wherever you went afterwards, the reception would be it. And you had this table of all the same foods around it, like particular people would have made it each time. And each time there was like just off to the center because the cake is in the middle, and just off, like one of them was a red trifle, one of them was... It's like, Jesus Christ.
Jeez. Do you Americans know what trifle is? Drinking Foster's at an Outback Steakhouse. Oh man, that'd be... Foster's isn't drank here either. That's...
Yeah, do you guys know what you call someone with jelly in one ear and sponge cake in the other?
Oh, here we go.
What is trifle death?
What, sorry?
A trifle death.
Trifle deaf? What does that even mean?
It's a saying. Have you heard of that?
I've never heard that in my life.
Okay, that joke didn't. That joke completely relied on.
Hang on.
So it completely didn't work.
Hang on. Here we go. Trifle, for those that don't know, as Steve mentioned, so you got jelly or jello and sponge, but there's also usually like a liqueur that's sort of mixed in, like some sort of alcohol, just very slightly, but also like slivered almonds as well. And
yeah, but it's
alright.
It's made into 3 layers. So you have like sponge cake, some sort of custard or
cream, big thickened cream.
Yeah, thickened cream.
And custard, yeah.
And then I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah, I know there's 3 layers. So it's that sponge cake and jello.
Yeah, it's definitely it's probably made before then, but it's the kind of cooking that you'd see in the 70s where people tend to try and make things look better than they actually are. But
yeah, I think it's mostly the look, because like it's not bad, but those 3 don't go to like that. It's not like you take a spoonful of each of those layers and go, everything's gelling and working together as this. Just, I guess it kind of looks good, but it's just, jelly cream and sponge. It's just those.
Yeah. Lamingtons are great. Lamingtons are fantastic. You can get chocolate lamingtons or strawberry lamingtons. Both are fantastic. Pavlova's pretty good. As long as... I like the pavlova where the meringue is... Is it French meringue? Is that what it is? Where it's kind of sticky and it's got some give, almost like a brownie. Like, it's not just dried sugar that disintegrates in your mouth. Oh, British cooking though. Jeez.
But you need not question either of them. It will only waste valuable time. Neither of them are capable of murder.
Thanks for the tip.
Fifi, you said you were a micro... something or other?
Microbiologist. But it is an insignificant label. My studies cannot be categorized in any one recognized field.
What made you want to become a scientist in the first place?
I harbor an intrinsic fascination with the microscopic. I constructed my first one at age 10.
Constructed a microscope?
Correct.
And what's that thing on your head? Did you make that too?
My eyesight began to deteriorate when I turned 12. Not satisfied with the eyeglasses prescribed to me, I designed this custom lens instead. It automatically adjusts based on the surrounding light conditions.
Does it glow red when you get angry?
No, but that would be most amusing.
Imagine having glasses that wrap over your head like that. This is like headphones.
What can you tell me about the murder?
What can you tell me about... Wait, that's what I'm supposed to ask you.
Yes, however, you were too slow.
You fancy yourself a detective too, Fifi?
I just need to know what happened.
Me too. So talk.
Fine. I knew ahead of time that Freya was going to be busy with her painting all day, so I had planned to spend the afternoon with Poppy. I was in the library all morning preparing the equipment for an experiment, only to find out that Poppy had made other plans and she was in fact planning to ignore me completely.
Oh.
So what did you do instead?
I locked myself in my room and cried.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
I don't know, it just sounds kind of sad.
It is not unusual.
Oh. Good.
I was in my room. The lights were off and the door was locked. Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me. I opened the door. Poppy came into my room. Her makeup was leaking. She told me Freya was dead. I did not believe it. I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face. She insisted that we go up to Flora's tower. We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs. When I saw Freya lying on the floor, I was completely and utterly devastated. Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting. Poppy and I took the sample back downstairs to the library. We performed a test and found out that it was, in fact, blood.
What made her do that?
Performed that scientific test immediately, even though you were feeling so upset?
Of course. Why would one affect the other?
Fifi's bedroom should be unlocked now.
Oh.
Can't wait.
There has to be a puzzle in here, right? Where would it be?
Sure. Why not build a...
The search
I
for the
already
art
heard
is
that one.
downright poetic. It's musty in here.
What exactly does that mean?
Musk, you asked us.
Nice.
That one too?
It's an illustrated
And
book.
it's been left open. Looks like
Or it was left
ever
open.
so slightly
Alright, let's have a
unopened.
look in here again. There's a bird that ate a particular thing. Tantamamica.
I thought I recognized Sophie as well, but she's got a huge number of credits because it's various TV and video game voices, but I can't see.
This girl here.
Yeah, she's in V Rising, but I've never played that. One of the Attack on Titan things, but never watched that.
Fifi's room. Oh, sodas by the bed. Who is this, Steve?
What's by the bed?
Sodas. Soft
I
drink.
don't know what that drink is, but I bet it's
I mean, I don't drink them in
99%
bed.
sugar.
Didn't you say that you're perfectly happy to crack one open as soon as you wake up?
Yeah, but I don't have them by the bed though. I've actually gotten up, and if I'm super tired, or I'll go to the fridge.
I'd read you the ingredients, but there's nothing written on the can.
That's even worse.
Tasmania is fantastic. You just don't drive at night. Like, literally do not drive at night in Tasmania. Everything else, fantastic. Mona Museum. Actually, Psycho, yeah, if you're coming to Australia, definitely check out Mona in Tasmania. Launceston too. Don't have to check out Launceston. Just go to Hobart and then go up to Port Arthur. That's all you need to do.
What's that big book on the desk?
Looks like something Fifi's been writing.
Is it a clue?
I hope not. It's just a bunch of notes about her microbiology experiments.
Ted.
You suspect. Don't think you can get out being questioned just because you're a bear.
I'm innocent, I promise.
Save it for the judge.
Boxes of stuff.
Fifi's got something pinned up here.
Oh, is this the pause?
What is all this?
Oh gosh. No, there's nothing to do in WA at all. What's that, Steve?
I actually went to Western Australia once for the Red Bull Air Race. Yeah, it's actually suspects. I'll puzzle to with the suspects.
Now, you're a mathematician. What do these mean?
Well, one of them was a bit of chemistry thrown in, because one on the top left is a molecule.
Hydrogen, oxygen, oxygen, H2.
Yeah, and then there's a weird kink, though, in one of the bonds, which is kind of weird.
That makes it
So it's like, well, do you reckon it's actually something? Because to me, it's just like, when someone tries to speak a language, but not that they don't know, but they just try to mimic it, where it sounds like it, but it's nonsensical. I think it's the chemistry version of that.
I think so, yeah.
Not sure.
That's gotta be flora.
I don't know, most of it's like correct symbology, but it's not like it's put together in some way that is meaningful.
Who's that?
Not sure. Who is that?
That's you, Steve.
So you know about our bins?
And that's you, Sally.
What? I do not
Oh,
know
yeah.
that. Do I?
How did she have time to draw Sally and...
Who's that?
Not sure.
I think that's supposed to be Felix.
The one on the bottom left is like someone out of Nudo.
Why do I look so angry?
That's just the face
That
you
is
make when you're
too.
thinking. Does make you wonder, though. When did Fifi draw all this?
Oh, yeah, there you go. This looks like a Naruto person, you say?
Yeah, just like the scar on his face.
Trying to solve the mystery with math equations?
Those are our bins is probably my most iconic line.
That one you clicked on is really weird. That and the one next to it. Because it's like a decimal number in a fraction.
Yeah.
I just realized that's really stupid.
Is Fifi trying to solve the mystery with math equations?
Maybe. Did you ever try that?
Okay.
Did you notice who isn't on here?
Her?
Freya?
Mm-hmm. And Fifi herself.
Yeah.
Crystal chandeliers. Extra fancy.
Oh wait, go back to that
They just seem
picture. I
old-fashioned
should
to
take a
me.
screenshot.
Plus,
Okay.
they're kind of dusty.
Fifi's got
What
something.
is all this?
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Did you notice who isn't on here?
Freya?
Mm-hmm.
What is this machine?
Looks like a microscope. A big one.
Can I touch it?
Oh, here's that buzz.
I'm not sure this is a microscope.
Okay, we're trying to build the key by the looks of it. Oh, I see. This one over here. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, like this. Well, that's a big fat one. That should be it. What's this big thing here, though? Oh, it's the actual... Oh, it needs 2 of those little notches, though. Like that? It's good enough.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah!
Nice work. Sounds like it unlocked.
Yeah, it's built on top of a little metal box. There's a book in here.
Oh. Pray tell. A well-used book resembling a diary. It's locked with a strange metal device. Okay.
Nice room.
It's a mess. But yeah.
A pretty ornate window with a great view of the lake.
We're supposed to be looking for clues, not assessing the real estate value.
And over here, you'll see the owners use sheets of paper to block out all that unnecessary natural light. A simple trick, but it really transforms the space. It's a magnifying glass.
A big one.
How come you don't have one of those?
Why? Because I'm a detective? Should I start smoking a pipe too?
You can pull off a pipe.
Okay, that's probably it. I wonder if we can talk to people about, like, we just solved the puzzle, for instance. Can we go, oi, we solved your puzzle? What's that?
But it seems like you
Oh.
probably given.
My book.
Okay.
What's in it?
Pages.
I feel like just everything's been unlocked now. Like,
Do you know who was reading this book?
It belongs to my mother.
And
That's so
you left it
much.
in the library?
No, my mother has not been in the library for some time.
So you're right about Sydney being wankers, but
yeah.
in terms of just seeing stuff, I don't know how much stuff is there, but like just seeing the Sydney Harbour, Sydney Opera House and stuff might be good for a tourist.
They got fuck off sized cockroaches running the streets, though. My gosh.
Yeah.
There is a drawing of me, a drawing of Detective Hawkshaw, and a drawing of Poppy and Fitz.
Oh.
This photograph is my favorite photograph.
So,
Yes, you
why'd
will.
Rip it in half.
That was not me. Besides, it was not a half that was ripped off. It was only a third. I believe Freya was attempting to communicate something through this painting.
Any idea what it was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing above it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever. A wooden carving of my father, made by my father. Although, now that I look at it, I do not understand how he was able to paint the red parts without any red paint.
Oh. Is it all blood?
It is a model of Freya, made by my father.
That's weird because the red paint is there just with the other
And
group.
a man with a beard.
What if he
And a
killed her to
red
get
and
red
white
paint?
creature.
Why would my father make a model of Freya?
Yeah, if he ran out of red paint, maybe he went and killed her so he could top up. That's the motive.
Is she laughing?
The gramophone belongs to Poppy, but I believe she gave it to my mother, and my mother often loaned it to Freya. Or maybe it is the other way around.
When did it get cracked?
I cannot pinpoint it exactly. All I know is that it must have happened sometime in the last 2 days.
You guys reckon that Tongs has fallen asleep? I reckon so. It's so late for him.
Fifi, did you test the red paint in this pot?
Yes, I did. I discovered it too was blood, not paint.
A whole pot full of blood?
Not a whole pot. It is only partially full.
Yeah, but still. Doesn't that freak you out?
No. In fact, it may be considered rather reassuring. That belongs to my mother. I think she must be fond of eggs. There are a number of egg-shaped carvings to be found in the garden and in the Grand Hall.
Yeah, what's the deal with all the eggs?
Some people
What's the deal?
just like eggs. The red paint on the brush is not paint. It is blood. Same for the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
I do not know the answer.
6:45 a.m. Wow.
Freya is normally highly skilled at capturing someone's likeness, but in this painting, she has accidentally made Flora look quite young.
I think she was just being kind.
Why is that kind? Anyway, I'm far more interested in what Flora is holding. I performed the test on the red paint myself. I discovered that it was in fact not paint, but blood.
What made you want to test it in the first place?
It was Poppy. She told me she thought the painting looked like a bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. My mother owns no such knife. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark, and the substance itself was overly viscous.
You noticed that just from looking at it once?
Of course.
You know what it's like? The painting reminds me a lot of... Remember that board game Mysterium? Where you're sort of a ghost trying to tell who murdered who via, like, these abstract cards? It's like that.
I don't think I played it.
Oh, it's a good one. Because it's... Basically, it's everyone working together to get it solved. So it's like a co-op sort of detective game. It's really cool.
Curious. This belongs to Poppy. In fact, she owns a number of cassette tapes.
What happened to it, though?
It has been left underwater for an extended period of time.
Right. But why?
I do not know why. The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the harp. Have you deciphered their meaning yet?
We're working on it.
We are.
I require facts. What do you know?
Well, we know Freya was stabbed with a knife, and then she fell...
Correction. She was stabbed with something. There was no knife found at the crime scene.
Apart from the one in the painting.
Which, as a mere abstract representation, does not count. Nobody has ever been stabbed by the concept of a knife. What is your opinion of Tangle Tower?
Oh, it's impressive. Elaborate gardens, unique architecture.
Must be worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
I am the heir of the Fellow family and the Remington family. This makes me the sole beneficiary of Tangle Tower.
That's quite an inheritance.
They can't make you do anything, Fifi. If you don't want the house, just tell them. Or just sell it. Who cares?
You sound like her.
What's up, Steve?
The question is, would she have inherited before Frey was killed?
Oh, you reckon?
Happy motive?
Maybe, yeah. Alright, cool. Let's, what we'll do is we'll talk to old mate at the top, same questions, and then we might save it and call it. Old mate. Oh, I guess we can click on these things as well, maybe.
Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all.
My father was her grandfather. So that would be the niece?
Her uncle. Yeah, she's a niece.
How is that distant? That's not distant. That's just...
There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
Already have.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower. My daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius.
I could go with a burger right now.
We did. She's going by Fifi these days.
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me, get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over Fiona.
Oh, yeah?
It's what Freya called her.
Okay.
You're the one currently basking in his presence. You tell me.
Let's move on.
Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Yes, been married over 20 years now.
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of 3. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company.
Does she have a tongue?
Humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know.
Okay. I feel we need to go back real quickly to get those out of the way.
Name, Freya Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, artist. Deceased. Understand this. Most people find me difficult. They exhibit a noticeable degree of discomfort when talking to me.
Do you remember being 19,
There it
Steve?
is. Freya, who had a
Remember
way of
being
an
19?
exception to any given rule, was not at all like this.
Not much. Don't think I
She
did
is
much other
very
than
important, and I will
this
not
first year of
rest
uni
until I
doing maths.
understand what has happened to her.
Did you spend a lot of time with Freya recently?
I will say this. In the past year, Freya became 1. Increasingly independent, and 2. Increasingly isolated.
Do you know why?
I do not. If you are looking for a speculative, empathetic opinion, try asking Poppy instead.
The 3 of you are friends.
We are of a similar age, and all highly gifted. 1 scientist, 1 artist, and 1 musician.
Sounds like quite a team.
Name, Fiona Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, Amateur microbiologist. Likes the meaningful archiving of information. Dislikes the superfluous window dressing accompanying the majority of human contact. Notes: kindly disregard the polysyllabic form of my given forename and refer to me instead as Fifi.
How come you prefer Fifi?
How come you prefer Grimoire?
How are you related to the other fellows?
Fitz is my cousin. His father, a man named Flint, was my uncle.
Was?
I do not know if Flint is alive or not. He left Tangle Tower a long time ago.
And what about Freya? How are you related to her?
We share exactly one grandparent.
That is Felix.
Name: Felix Fellow.
She could just say cousin.
53.
We would have gotten it.
Profession: none. Likes: collecting objects of negligible monetary value and assigning them personal value. Dislikes: the inescapable realities of human existence. Notes: Felix is my father and legal guardian.
And, is he a good dad?
I have no point of comparison, but I would say no.
No? Why not?
You asked me a binary question. Do not get upset that I provided one of the two possible answers.
What makes him a bad father, Fifi?
He has trouble expressing his emotions, and something of a willful detachment from reality.
Huh. Just like you, then.
Grimoire.
No, he is quite correct. Name: Flora Fellow. Age: 44. Profession: unknown. Likes: unknown. Dislikes: unknown.
Isn't she your mother? How do you not know anything?
I believe other people may have
A
discovered
bog
methods
ding
of
dong?
reaching her.
Oh, big
but
old.
I have little capacity for interpreting nonverbal communication.
I see it.
And
Fuck it hell.
How long has Flora been non-verbal?
She has always been quiet, willing to speak when necessary, but not more.
So what happened to make her stop talking entirely?
She suffered a great loss, something she has been unable to move beyond.
Okay. Alright, done that.
Why would someone lock up a book like that?
We think it's a secret diary.
Aha! Teenagers are funny, aren't they?
They sure are.
Where did you find that?
It was in the library.
Really? How odd. Freya was quite the talent. She had a way of capturing the spirits of her subjects. Not in an evil way, in a good way. My daughter Fiona and her best friend, they grow up so fast.
Do you know why it's ripped like that?
Ah, yes. I didn't even notice. No idea. That's one of Freya's paintings, is it not? It's impressive, but a little miserable for my tastes. I've been carving for a couple of years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to master it, as you can see.
Do you paint them yourself too?
I do indeed, yes. Freya kindly taught me the basics. Nowadays, I can make just about anything I can imagine. Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait based on hard fact.
Could he have carved a weapon?
So, you own a sword, Felix?
Of course. I own a great many. But my weapons are stored well away from Tangle Tower. Safety first and all that.
He's suspicious as hell.
Ah, you found it. What do you think, huh? I had to rush the final touches a little bit. It turned out all right, though.
What's it supposed to be?
It's Flora, of course, surrounded by all her favorite people. But that looks like it might belong to Poppy. Flora's quite fond of that old thing. It's in poor shape, though.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do. Looks like Freya's paints.
Do you know why the pots are cracked down one side?
No, that's very odd. They're normally in excellent condition.
You seem pretty sure about that. Does Florin normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work
You guys
out
still have a
what.
bunch of Easter eggs
Why
left?
not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg,
Hot chocky.
it's because they don't want
Nice.
to be asked about it.
Rules to live by.
It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass, given the circumstances.
Ah,
It's in a blood.
yes. So we shall.
Cadbury mini eggs, eh? Oh, a whole bunch to keep you going for the rest of the year. Love it. Cadbury chocolate's pretty good. Yeah. When you say mini eggs, I don't know. I guess I've never seen. I can make an assumption what mini eggs are, but are they just like the solid, fully solid
I think
eggs?
I'm picturing the solid ones.
Yeah, like the ones the size of, say, your thumb joint, like that big.
These
with
as
the foil.
opposed to like the bigger hollow ones.
Crunchy shell, but like an M&M.
Okay, so we don't have those.
Yeah. Yeah, Hayes is pretty good. We got a few stores of Hayes in Melbourne too. M&M. Yeah, we don't have those. Not that I know of, at least. All of ours is sort of wrapped in tinfoil.
Yeah, regular chocolate in tinfoil.
It would have been a beautiful painting. It's rather a shame Freya was unable to finish it.
Nothing about it seems strange to you.
Well, all these modern paintings are slightly strange, aren't they? The emotion of the piece taking over from, say, anatomical accuracy.
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
You don't?
Well, as I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at.
Yeah, I tell you what, having Easter when you're on a diet is really difficult because, like, normally you just smash an Easter egg and that would be it. But having to have, like, I'm going to have, like, a quarter of this egg and leave the rest till later is just a strange, weird feeling.
I'm as
Okay.
confused as you are.
Yeah.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy. Rather ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to it either.
Do you know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way, but I can't recall.
Yeah, Hawaii's a pause in the diet. When I go over there, it's just no holds barred. And then as soon as I get back, it's back on the train.
What's this?
It's my case file. It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I found it comforting.
Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally. Dear Flora's father and his associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the Fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have both come to claim a certain degree of ownership.
And who named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing at all. Something of a fresh start.
From what?
This really isn't for me to say, but she had some kind of disagreement with her siblings.
He's so cagey, this
After
guy.
they moved away, Flora changed the name of the house. I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel unwelcome, yes, less likely to come back.
That's kind of extreme.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it?
Awesome. Well, I reckon.
There's something about
Oh, hang on.
Felix's painting supplies.
What's this?
Something suspicious.
Yeah.
Let's ask him about it.
Alright, we'll do it.
There's something about the image of Flora in the painting. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Cool. If we hit this, then hit this, autosave is on. Excellent. We'll quit to the title screen. Well, it has been a grand old time, not only playing this game, but also gasbagging with you guys. As I said, next week we'll be off, but we'll be back the following week, no doubt, no doubt. Let me close this. Here it is. Quit. We'll see if there's someone. You know what? Last time Limmy had the raids turned off, but I'm going to try and raid him anyway because that's what we do. We enjoy Limmy's humor. But yeah. Ooh. Thank you, Anonymous, and thank you, Verdantry, for being subbed. Drop it. Oh, we gotta watch some cheat or drop it or the wall at some point for sure. Okay, we cannot raid him, or as he would say, can I raid him at the moment? So we'll just leave it there. We won't raid. That's fine. But yeah, thank you once again. And thank you for Savvy for buying this for us. Sorry, what was that, Steve?
Yeah, I don't know anyone other than Midnight Sumo is running or Paradox Interactive are doing Age of Wonders 4.
Ah, it's all right. We'll just call it here. It's fine. Oh, actually, you know what? There is some recommended channels here. There is someone playing a game by the name of... It actually doesn't say the name. They're MS-DOS digging. So let's do that. That sounds pretty good. Love looking at old MS-DOS.
If it's MS-DOS, then hopefully it's CoverGirl Poker.
Steve. 1 second. The name is a little bit finicky.
Steve once again lives up to his name as the Filthbag Pirate.
Let's see. Is this spelled right? I think that's it. There we go. Locking you guys into MXYZZY. No, nice little humor in there with that Zizzy command. But,
that girl is from Dust and Elysium Tale. I think she's one of the big voices in that. That might be what I closely might know her from.
Cool, cool. All right, guys. Until next time, I'll see you when I get back from the sunshine. Toodles.
Yep. Everyone.